Let's test these. Test this meme boy. Memes. Memes. I do like memes. Do you like memes? Memes that fun. Memes that cool. Memes for me. Memes for you. This purse has no money in it, which is why I will be dispersing packs of gum instead. What is up, internet boys and girls? My name is TJ Sloan, and this week I learned the difference between some words. So, in my job, I deal with a lot of typing up documents and trying to use big words so that way things sound really professional and precise and they don't sound like they were written by a 7-year-old. Most of the time I know what words I'm using. I have a decent vocabulary, so usually I know what I'm talking about, but there are some times where I am stuck between two words because I'm not sure what the difference is between them, and that is what leads me to what I learned this week. This week, as I was writing a document, I typed in the word disperse, and one of my coworkers questioned it. He said, isn't that supposed to be the word disperse with a B, which was a word that I had heard, but didn't realize that disperse and disperse existed at the same time, but had different meanings. I think there are some times where you go through life and you hear words that seem like they're interchanging in your mind, and you never actually question them, put them side by side and say, okay, which one of you am I supposed to be using? So I used the word disperse, and he thought it might be disperse, so we looked it up. Disperse, P-E-R-S-E, and disburse, B-U-R-S-E, both mean to distribute things, okay? So if you thought of that's what they meant, you're right, you got it, you're good so far. The difference lies between, drumroll please, money. Of course it's money. Disperse, with a P, is to distribute items as long as they're not money or monetary related, okay? Disburse, with a B, is used in place of disperse if there is money related, which is why you'll hear of like reimbursements, and that always has to deal with money, right? I know that words can be hard to remember, and even though you watch this video, later you're gonna go to tell a friend about it and you're gonna be like, what was the difference between them again? So I've come up with some ways to remember these words, some goofy, silly ways based off of that thing, that psychology thing where it helps it stick in your mind if you use weird triggers. So here's how you can remember it. Disperse doesn't have money in it, which is why I will disperse sticks of gum. And then disperse with a B is just the other one. Simple enough. Now let's talk about affect and effect. This one always gets me somehow. It doesn't matter how many times I look it up. It always gets to me. So here is how I remember it now. Affect means it's something that is happening, okay? And effect is the thing that is happening. So as an example, here's a way to remember it. I got the desired effect, which affected me. The way that I chose to remember it, and this is super egotistical, is that affect, starting with an A, obviously comes first in the alphabet, right? So affect, something affected me comes first, I come first, and so affected me, right? And then effect is like, if you're doing like a science project and you're looking for the desired effect, you know what I mean? You can think of it that way. Science things like E equals MC squared, effect, the desired effect from this science experiment. It's a leap, but we can make it. The last one I wanted to talk about was assume and presume, because I actually didn't know that there was a difference between these words. The only reason I found these words is because I kind of fell down a rabbit hole where I just started looking up the difference between words. It turns out that there's some webkites. I'm flying my webkite. It is a digital kite that is powered not by wind, but by memes of Harambe. Yup. I was finding out just the differences between different words that I'm probably never even going to use, but there are websites dedicated to these words and the differences between them. Both of the words do mean like to assume something. I'm using the definition assume for the word assume. because I don't know a replacement word for assume, but I'm assuming you know what that means. Well, you know what they say. When you assume, it makes an ASS out of UME. Turns out that's actually really true, because presume means to assume something, but having some sort of basis to go off of. Maybe you have some sort of evidence already, you know, enough to where you're making a scientific guess. It's not just a complete, I'm just assuming this because I felt like it, which is kind of what assume means. So it turns out that every 65-year-old man that tells that joke is actually kind of onto something. You can tell yourself that if you want to. I'd prefer if you just remembered those two, if you could remember the difference between any two, so that way that joke can die like it should have hundreds of years ago. But I guess it's helping people learn words, so who am I to judge? Hey, let's talk about that weekly fortune. My fortune this week says, you find beauty in ordinary things. Do not lose this ability. I actually really like this fortune because I feel like it's just accurate. I don't even really have anything to poke fun about with this because it's pretty true. It's not always true. There are sometimes when I'm ridiculously unimpressed by ordinary things. Like babies. They can't do a lot. I think that they should be more capable. I feel like all they do is roll around and poop and don't clean up after themselves. And it's, you know, really annoying. They should be better at being little humans. But in all actuality, I really do think that we just take things for granted, especially things like nature. Being someone who loves his technology, who loves his video games and his computers and his phone and all that, I do actually think that the world is beautiful. I mean, look at animals. Seriously. I'm trying not to be a cliche here, but it's hard not to be because this is how I actually feel. I think that sometimes we forget to appreciate humans, and we forget to appreciate nature, and we forget to appreciate other things. There should have been a third thing there, and I couldn't think of it because I don't appreciate anything because I'm a millennial, and we are super unappreciative of everything. So, hey, speaking of passionate people, you should talk about your passionate person of the week, TJ. Wow, that's a really good idea. This week's passionate person is at Benji_boy1. He tweets at me at Pyrotaz_3 and says, my passion is to make videos on YouTube and give people something that they really like. I want to do gaming because gaming has been with me every step of the way, and I want to show people how much fun it is. Hashtag passionate person. Benji Boy included a link to a YouTube video. I'm going to show that video now, and if you like the video, you should give it a like, go sub to him, and give him some support.
Hello? Good. Demons haven't showed up yet, but... Close the door, close the door!
Benji Boy, thanks for your passionate person submission. I hope that you continue to do YouTube and you continue to strive to be the best YouTuber that you can be. If you guys would like to be next week's passionate person, just tweet at me at Pyrotaz_3 using hashtag passionate person. I would love to hear what you guys learned this week, so please tell me down in the comments or tweet at me and use hashtag TWIL. Please like this video and hit that subscribe button. I know we're coming down to the wire, but I would love to hit 100 subs before the end of the year. I'm working really hard to try to put out the best content that I possibly can. Please share this video with your illiterate friends. I would appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time. I don't even know what I was trying to do. Like, I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. Like, I was gonna fall down. There was no other outcome for that.